want you all to know that all of you tonight are in the right place, at the right time, and with the right people. And here I want to wish all our Muslim friends, selamat berbuka puasa. Thank you. 谢谢. Terima kasih. Nandri. I know many of you have braved the weather, the traffic, over long distances, whether on the highways or in the plane to be here. And we want you to know that we really appreciate that. Thank you again. It is because of you. Tonight is a very exciting night. Your presence here uplift both of us. I know you all come here with expectations. Some want to know how to succeed in this business. Some want to know what's so good about this business. Some want to know why Amway people are so excited. Some people really think, Amway people are crazy. I don't know why they're so excited, cheering all the time. They must be crazy. But actually, we are not crazy. We are normal. They are crazy. Yet some people were literally dragged here. They didn't want to come. But their friend or their sponsor persuaded them to come, almost like pointing a gun at their head to make sure that they come. And I'm sure those people who are sitting down here like that will probably say, "You better make my time worth it, man." So whatever you expect, I can tell you, my friends, the answers are here tonight. The answers are in front of you. Think about it. Right now in Kuala Lumpur, or even in Malaysia, where else can you find a place where you are treated with dignity and respect? Where else can you find an environment where everybody wants you to succeed? Where else can you find an environment where everybody wants you to have a good life? That's why I say, this is the right place. This is the place to be. Tonight's function is something which you seldom or you rarely see anywhere else. This kind of function, the company puts up to help you. Whenever a person is successful, that person is put on stage to share his or her story. And the reason is that this is to show you, if we can do it, you can do it too. I now want to bring forward a very special person, a person who is very close to me, a person who is really, really special to me. She's a person with a great personality. She's a person with impeccable character. She's a person with high integrity. And I can tell you, she's a person with plenty of wisdom, both in the business and in life. Here's my wife, Celia.
Thank you very much. How are you? Apa khabar semua? Ni hao ma? 很好，非常好。Yes, yeah. So it's great to see all of you here. I know you have come from far and near. Thank you very much for coming here. Give yourself an applause. Congratulations to all the new silver producers, gold producers, platinums, the emeralds. I can see the joy and excitement in your face. Many years ago, when my husband and I, when we received our silver producer pin, we were very happy and excited. The excitement kept us going to where we are today, but our job is still not done. So, thank you very much. Firstly, I'd like to thank all the diamonds, the Founders Diamond, EDCs, Founders EDCs, Double Diamond, Founders Double Diamond, Triple Diamond, Jordan Core and Shu Wen, Crown Ambassador Peter Lee and Choi Kit, Crown Ambassador Ku Chong Kok and Tracy, and Founders Crown Ambassador Lee Kim Soon and Kui Chu. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the lovely flowers, the fruits, the SMS, the phone calls. All this really, it means a lot to us, yeah? We really appreciate your good gesture. Tonight, our recognition and celebration is possible because of two great men, Rich DeVos and Jay Van Andel. Who had the vision 50 years ago in Ada, Michigan. They came up with an idea, and their vision is to spread Amway to all over the world. And Amway is already in 80 countries and territories, and in Malaysia for 33 years, and in Singapore for 7 years. So thank you very much to Rich and Jay and their family. Thank you very much, Amway Malaysia, and a fantastic management team, Lau Han Ki and Paul Yi, all the managers and the staff for the awesome support. With the wonderful partnership, Amway Malaysia is what it is today and is growing. Last fiscal year, the sales in Amway Malaysia was in excess of 630 million ringgit. Let's show a big appreciation to all of them. Thank you. My husband is a medical doctor, and I was a head nurse at University Hospital. If it is not because of the Amway business, we will not be here tonight and share our humble story. Because of this business, we have great lifestyle. We would like to say a big thank you to our wonderful team, and we are very grateful to all of you for your belief and faith in us. We love you. Our journey in the Amway business has its ups and downs. When our Amway business was down, it was a real test on our belief level in the Amway business. How strong is our Amway belief? There were times when my husband wanted to quit the Amway business, and I said, no, we are going to the next level. And there were times when I was tired and down. I told my husband, let's quit the Amway business. And he said, no, we are going to move up the next level. Since then, my husband and I never mentioned quitting the Amway business. Because we know we must be accountable for our own success, and nobody can steal our dream. We make a commitment to ourselves by giving our Amway business the top priority. We give whatever it takes and not what we have. Now my husband and I don't know how to say quit. When we first signed up to do the Amway business, we never know what Amway business could mean to us, how far and how big it can go. We realized that whether it is Amway or life as it is, challenges are part and parcel of everyday living. You may be late for work, and more frustrating when you cannot find the car key. When you find the car key, when you want to start the car, and you find that one of the tires was flat. What are you going to do? Not to worry, you'll find a solution, you'll fix it. At the end of the day, it will turn out fine. If you don't allow challenge to defeat you, ultimately, it will strengthen you. Challenges will either make us stronger or weaker, but we choose to be stronger. To us, no matter how many times we were knocked down, the most important thing is we must tell ourselves to get up and keep moving. We have learned how to overcome the challenges and not the challenges overcome us. Challenges definitely has toughness. I remember there was a time when we make an appointment to see our prospect in our prospect home at 8 p.m. It was raining like cats and dogs, thunder, lightning, storm. So most of the places in Kuala Lumpur was flooded. But we arrived at our prospect place at sharp 8 p.m. Our prospect car wash was flooded. And when our prospect saw us, they said, "Wow, no wonder both of you are so successful. I thought you won't come tonight." So we showed our prospect the Amway sales and marketing plan and demonstrated the product for more than an hour. And she said no to the Amway business. We were not disappointed. We told ourselves, it's a problem if she cannot see the potential of the Amway business. We just have to say next and move on. This was one of the many rejections we had encountered. There were many more. Some will say yes to the Amway business, and some will say no. So what? Somewhere, somehow, 6 world, and we be diamond. We realize quitters never win and winners never quit. We realize no matter what challenges, obstacles, and rejections one may be facing, but one must never, never quit the Amway business. It is very easy to quit the Amway business, but in life, whether you do Amway or not, you still have to face challenges. And who is going to help you? But in the Amway business, when you face challenges, your upline will be there to help you and to uplift you. When you want to be successful in Amway, life will get into your way. I have learned that success is not without pain and tears. When we got distracted all the time, we can get distracted all the time, we get frustrated, but that's about character building. Through this business, I have learned about priorities, persistence, and never give up no matter what. My husband and I realized that if we want to achieve our dream, we have to stay focused all the time and keep our eyes on the ball. It is very important to stay away from all the distractions and keep on running. It is not how fast you run, if it is how long you keep running. This business is like a mission to us. That is why when we keep running, we never get out of breath. We enjoy the Amway business because it makes a difference not only to us, but to see how many lives are better off because we live. It is so heartening to see them break through and move up their pin level to platinums, emeralds, and above. We enjoy being together with all our friends and all the Amway expense paid trip. We had great time with our friends when we celebrated the 50th anniversary in Grand Rapids and Las Vegas for 10 days with all the diamonds and above from around the world. The 50th Amway celebration was truly a testimony on how strong is the Amway business. It shows the commitment and the strength of the Amway company. It is very motivational to us. We were inspired. It was an eye-opener to us, and we renew our commitment for higher goals. The whole event was truly amazing. For those who had missed the 50th celebration, it does not matter. There will be more celebrations and trips. Next year, the ALS trip is in Dubai. This is one country you must go. And let us create history and break records by having the most ALS participants. Can we do that? Lau Han Ki and Paul Yi will be more than happy to organize many planes to go to Dubai. Now, next year, the ALS trip, as I say, is in Dubai. But why not qualify as a diamond this coming performance year, starting next week, and attend the Diamond Invitational in London and Paris end of next year? Now I would like to speak a few words in Mandarin. 我的丈夫是一个医生，我是一个副市长，因为这个以代的伟大的安利生意。我们拥有不平凡的生活方式，我们可以，你们也可以的。Okay, now I speak in Bahasa. Okay? Saya cakap Bahasa. Apa khabar semua? Saya sangat gembira Amway Perniagaan. Amway sudah 50 tahun dan Mei tahun ini Amway menyambut hari tadi. Semua diamond dan ke atas seluruh dunia berkumpul bersama-sama di Grand Rapids dan Las Vegas selama 10 hari. Ini membuktikan Amway ialah sebuah company yang kokoh dan besar. Amway Malaysia sudah 30 tahun dan Amway Malaysia jualan menaikkan setiap tahun. Tahun performance lepas, jualan Amway melebih 630 juta ringgit. Ya, tepuk. Ibu pejabat Amway Malaysia Yang baru rengkat bentuk sangat impresif. Nantilah Anda melawat ke dalam baru Anda tahu ia lebih impresif. Yang penting, ia boleh membantu perniagaan MW Anda. Oleh itu, jangan tinggalkan MW Business. MW Business ialah perniagaan yang terbesar di dunia ini. Daripada dapatkan bantukan daripada upline dan panggil dia bantu Anda pergi itu Dubai. Okeylah, saya berhenti di sini. Saya akan mencerita sebuah cerita dalam bahasa Inggeris. I will now end here by telling you a story in English. So there was a man who cannot see very well, so he doesn't read. So he cannot hear very well, so he doesn't listen to the radio. But he sells good hot dogs. So he bought a bigger stove, buy more buns and more hot dogs, and put up the advertisement, and he did roaring business. He made a lot of money that he was able to send his son to university. Unfortunately, one day his son came home and told his father, "Father, didn't you read the newspaper? Didn't you listen to the radio? The economy in Europe is very bad. And in our country, the economy is getting worse." So he thought for a while. He said, "My son, he went to university. He listened to radio. He read newspaper. He must be right." So what he did, the next day, he cut down on his bun order and cut down on the hot dogs and changed to a smaller stove. And he took down the advertisement. Immediately, the next day, the sales went down. You got my story? That means there are a lot of people who try to steal your dream. There are a lot of dream stealers. So it's very important for you to know what you want in life. So, okay, I will now hand the mic to my life partner and my mentor, Dr. Wong. Thank you.
Saya pun tak tahu dia mahir cakap bahasa Melayu macam itu. 你看他的华语讲得很好啊。但是那个是马来西亚的华语，我的华语是北京的华语，如果我讲的华语你们不明白。A few weeks ago, Celia and I attended a wedding dinner. At this wedding dinner, the father of the groom gave a speech that was full of humor and at the same time full of wisdom. He said many things, but one thing he said caught my attention. He said, "Dear son, it is marvelous to get married, but believe me, it is a huge challenge to stay married." Advice to newly married couples by older people, especially parents and relatives, are common. It is a well-known thing that after the joyous wedding, the reality of living together and facing the routine challenges of life sets in. But I want to tell you another speech given at a university graduation ceremony, sometimes called convocation. given by a dean of the university, of the faculty. There were 100 graduates in the room, and this is the speech of the university dean. Congratulations to all of you for your fine achievement. You have worked hard to have come this far. And today, I'm proud to see you receiving your degrees in the presence of your parents and your loved ones. As you go out into the world to join the workforce of society, the first thing you would find is that life as a working person, making a living, is far different from life as a student. The following statistics I'm going to give you, hopefully, will help you make certain important decisions that you would soon face. Out of the 100 graduates in this room, when you reach the retirement age of 65, 25 of you will be dead. 51 of you will have an average income of $18,000 a year or 1,500 ringgit a month. 4 of you will have an average income of $35,000 a year or 3,000 ringgit a month. Only 1 of you will be a millionaire. This all means that at the age of 65, only 5 of you can put your hands on 3,000 ringgit a month. You may want to bear this information in mind when you make the important decisions that you will be facing. Almost all of you will be looking for jobs and join the corporate world. It is exciting to get into the workforce of society and start having your own income instead of relying on your parents. And in all probability, it is in this corporate world that you plan to achieve success. However, unknown by many, after climbing the corporate ladder, you will encounter what I call the corporate bottleneck. This is what you will face in the corporate world, the corporate bottleneck. So let me elaborate. The chances of becoming a top player in the corporate world are just as slim as becoming a top professional athlete. Unlike athletic superstars, corporate superstars don't get to retire at the age of 35. Athletic superstars can retire at age 35, but corporate superstars have to work until they are too old to work. Millions of people work unbelievably hard trying to move up the corporate ladder. Only a tiny number of those hardworking people will ever pop out of the neck of the bottle. Many of the others will work almost as hard, will give up their family lives, will pin their hopes on a top salary and stock options, and will trade all their time in search of the elusive superstar spot in the corporate world called the CEO. And many a time while vying for the top job, many executives will get bypassed or a bypass. It is in the corporate world that when young, they use their health to chase their money. And when old, they use their money to chase their health. In the corporate world, the struggle goes on for 40 to 50 years. By the time you realize you are getting nowhere, you are too old. So graduates, enjoy while you can. I must confess that that was a fictitious speech. No university dean or vice chancellors will ever give such a speech. It will spoil the graduate's happy day. Nevertheless, those are the statistics, and that is what the average person faces in life. But it could be given by someone close to you in a more private occasion. So, my friends, what is the alternative? And the alternative, my friends, is what you see tonight. The Amway business is the best business in the world, and I have no doubt about that. You start out with a very small capital, less than the cost of a meal in a hotel, less than the cost of a pair of new shoes. And yet, you can make it into a multi-million-dollar business within a few years. It has unlimited income, unlimited potential. The level of achievement is determined by you, not by a boss and not by a board of directors. You will get money, time, and intangible benefits. But this is an unconventional business. It's so different from the businesses that people know. That's why it's so difficult to see. It's so difficult to understand. I'd like to tell you a story, a true story of our experience in Indonesia. This happened only a few months ago. Our friend in Indonesia was driving us in his car at 12 noon. And the sun was overhead, it was bright, it was sunny, but as we drove along the streets, we noticed that the shops were dark, but the lights in the shop were on. But the shops were dark. So for a while, I was thinking, why are the shops dark? Then Celia said, oh, maybe they want to save electricity, they don't switch on all the lights. But a short while later, it dawned on me that the shops were really not dark. It was because in Indonesia, the cars were heavily tinted. It's so heavily tinted that outside you cannot look in. Inside you can look out, but everything looks dark. And that's how a lot of people see the Amway business, through tinted screen. But they don't know, just like I did not know earlier on, that there was a tinted screen between my eyes and outside. And some people, mistake the whole business of what it's all about. And we can list down all the things. But I find that the commonest thing or the commonest reason people do not want to do this business, and perhaps those few people on stage earlier on, there were one or two who did not want to join the business. Maybe because of this reason. They say, oh, this business, you got to kacau people. So they say, I come to this business, I got to approach my friends, I got to do this, I got to do that, all my friends run away. When I phone them, nobody answered the phone. And this is a common thing. But they misunderstand. Everybody, a lot of people misunderstand that this business is not about disturbing, pestering people, or what in Malaysia we say, kacau people. It's about helping people. We were on stage last year. We qualified as Triple Diamond. And now we are Founders Triple Diamond. We have moved up one pin level in 1 year. And sometimes people will wonder, what did we do? I'm going to share some thoughts with you about what it takes to be successful in this business. You'd like to hear those? These are what I call what it takes to be successful. Number one, it takes a decision. Many people just cannot decide whether they want to do the business or not. And the reason is that they either have not enough information or they have too much information. Too much information because today we have the internet. And sometimes whatever you say, people just go to Google and just key in those words and press enter or search, and they come out with 1,001 things about anything you want to know in this world. And then I can tell you that the internet to me, is the biggest rubbish dump in the world. Then when they hear about this and about that, or they don't hear about this, about that, then they started to ask people. And what happened is that they always ask the wrong people. Like, I'm sure you have heard about this, you know. If you are sick, if you don't feel well, who do you go and see? You go and see a doctor. But some people, they go and see a car mechanic. And this is what happens to some people. They want to know about Amway. They ask the wrong people. And they also ask people who have already done the business. People who have failed. And I always say again, it's just like something, you want to be a doctor, go and ask the person who dropped out of medical school. You'll never become a doctor. You want to be a doctor, you ask the person who has finished medical school success. Better still, the one who has become a very successful doctor. But tonight, you hear from me that this is a really very, very good business. It's a wonderful business. You get very excited, and you go out now with a handphone, maybe even now with the SMS. You go and ask your closest friend, you ask your brother, you might even ask your father. You ask somebody else. And this somebody else will say, no, this is not a good business. And they tell you all the reasons why. They give you all the reasons why it's not a good business. So you're going to hear two sides. I say it's very good. He say it is no good. So who are you going to believe? The trouble is that people tend to believe the other one. But my advice to you is that be fair to yourself. If you don't want to believe me, don't believe him. Find out for yourself. You can come into this business and try it out for a period of time. And if you think that this is not for you and this is not as good as what has been claimed, you can always return it back and get your money back. There's hardly any risk in this business. So I always say that the best way to find out more about this business is from the inside, not from the outside. Some people say, let me think about it, let me see, you know. I say, yeah, you can see, but why wouldn't you see it from inside? If you're inside, it will be different. Number two, what does it take? It takes a dream. I always say that the why of the business is more important than the how. You must know why you want to do this business. If you don't have a dream, and you don't have a reason, even though we can teach you all the skills, we can teach you everything about the products, even including all the high-tech products like eSpring and the atmosphere and so on, and teach you about neutral light artistry and so on, you will still not do because you don't know why. It's only when you have a dream that you can set your goal. It's from the dream that the goal will come. And it's from the goal that the plan of action will come. And the plan will lead you to action. And your regular action consistently and persistently will lead to habits. It's what you do habitually every day that will determine your success. Number three, it takes work. It's a funny thing, you know. People will accept that it takes work when you hold a job. When somebody pays you a salary, you are willing to work. And people accept that there is work when you do a conventional business, whether you set up a restaurant or you set up a factory or whatever, they say there's work. But when you tell them the Amway business, they don't want to work. They think that money should drop from the sky. They think that they should make a few phone calls, attend a few meetings, and money should start coming in. So I don't know. That part I don't understand. This business takes work. You must realize the importance of work. You must realize the importance of getting money with work. Getting rewards and awards without work is not a success. In life, things are of value only when they are earned. When you get something for nothing, it won't last. Now, let me tell you a story now. This is also a true story. All my stories are true, you know? Except for the one about the dean's speech. This is about dentures. You know what dentures are? False teeth. You know, some people, their teeth are no good, so the dentist got to make dentures for them, and they use a false teeth called dentures. And it has been observed that some people are very comfortable with their dentures. It fits very well, they're very happy. But there are some people that are never happy with their dentures, no matter what you do. It doesn't fit well, and they always complain, and so on. So there was a study carried out by a group of professionals. And then find out why some people are comfortable and why some people are not happy. So they look into various factors. They look into how the dentures were made, the material used to make the dentures, the machine that is used to make the dentures, and the people who are making dentures, whether they are skillful or not. Then they look at the dentist, whether this dentist did the job properly, you know, getting the impressions and other things ready to make the dentures, whether these dentures are trained properly or not. They look at various factors, but they couldn't find an answer. Until one day, they discovered something. That the people who are not happy with their dentures never paid for the dentures. So when you get something for nothing, that's what happens. And some people don't know. It's the same thing with winning a lottery. I'm sure you have heard about people winning lotteries, especially the lotteries in the West, where you can win millions and millions of US dollars or in UK pounds. And it has been studied and it has been observed that many of these lottery winners who got the windfall of sometimes hundreds of millions of dollars or millions of pounds, they never kept those money after a few years. They lost all their money. Some of them even worse off than before they won the lottery. They squandered the money and they used the money to buy useless things or do all kinds of things until some of them even became bankrupt. And what is the moral of that? When you don't work and earn for your money, the money does not stay with you. So, my friends, this business takes work. If you want the money to stay with you and you want your business to last, you have to work. So let's not fool ourselves. The next point is what number 4, is it? I lost track already. It takes time. And again, this is one part that some people don't understand. This is a business. Yes, you move products. You want your PV. So you sell products. Sure, you use some, you sell some, and so on. You move products. You train your people to move the products. But this is not a business that want to create super salesmen. If you just stick to sales and move PV, you can do this business fast. But there is something else that you need in this business that you cannot do fast. And it takes time. For your business to be big, strong, big, and healthy, and last longer than you, you must build the leadership. You must build the belief level in your team. You must build the self-esteem. You must build right values. In other words, you must build people. And building people takes time. You know, Celia has already mentioned it. I'm going to mention it with a slightly different way. Success is not to the one that runs the fastest. Success is to the one that keeps on running. So building the business without building the people will not last. And that takes time. But having said that, it is a business for people who have no time. Have you encountered this? People don't want to do a business because they have no time. In fact, we did this business when we first started. We have so many rejections. I think more than 90% of the people we approached did not want the business, and almost all of them said, "I have no time." We have been in this business so many years now. And after all these years, more than 20 years, those same people still have no time. When we approached them, they were 25 years old, 30 years old. They have no time. Today, they are 50 years old, 55, or even 60 years old. And now when you approach them again, you know what they say? "I'm too old." So there's never a good time for them to do the business. But anyway, my point to you is that it takes time to build a long and lasting business. Number 5, it takes focus. Just now Celia already mentioned, everyone faces a lot of distractions in this business. And the most common distractions are what we call the routines. You wake up like a typical family. You've got to wake up the children, get them ready to go to school, get ready to breakfast, and then something will go wrong. The water doesn't boil, and the sugar has already finished, and then you blame your husband for not buying the sugar, and things like that. The car doesn't start, or something is lost, or things like that. The maid ran away, and you spill the milk, and all these kind of distractions. These are trivialities, unimportant things, but it distracts. Life interferes with success. And in addition to that, there are mental baggages that distract people. And this is something which is seldom mentioned. Mental baggages, and people have been emotionally troubled by something in the past. They had some issues with sometimes their own parents, their own brothers, their own sisters, their auntie, the nephew, the nieces, and things. My experience is that just about every family that I know has some issue. You agree with me? I've met people say, "I don't want to sit with that auntie. She said something bad about me last year." That is not true. Things like that are very common. And people, just because of these mental baggages, people get distracted. Number 6, it takes tolerance. Now, we live in this lovely country called Malaysia. It is a multiracial country, a multi-religious country, a multilingual country, and many-thing else. And we have to be very tolerant with one another. You see, it's not only the multi-racial and multi-religion and multilingual and multi-this and multi-that. Even if you are from the same race, speaking the same language, the same religion, every family, one family differs from another. The upbringing of one family, the upbringing of your family might be different from the upbringing of your brother's family, even though you are brothers or sisters. I'm sure you understand that, isn't it? And sometimes our habits, our sensitivities are different. Some people, their habits are so funny. Some people are overly sensitive, some people are undersensitive. And so we are doing a people business. We have learned to be tolerant. These are the points I'm passing to you tonight. But these are not all, because there will be a continuation another time. One of the biggest rewards of the business is the trips. Many years ago, there was a saying, join the Navy and see the world. Today, it is join Amway and see the world. And you see the world for free, and everything is first class. Now, I just want to spend a little bit of time on the trips, because I think that they are, to me anyway, is very unforgettable. There are certain things after we have been on the trip, we have been qualifying for the trip every year since the first year. Since the first year of our business. Aside from staying in the best hotel and eating the best food and getting the best treatment, there are 4 areas I would like to tell you about the trips. Over the years, Celia and I, we have seen so many places. What are the places we have seen? The first group of places, the natural wonders of the world. Sometimes you don't realize how beautiful this world is. The world is really an awesome place. Let me give you some example. For example, Niagara Falls is one of the most beautiful places in the world. It is a favorite for honeymooning couples. You can view it in the day, you can view it at night, and at night time they come out with so different colors. It is really a beautiful, beautiful sight. Niagara Falls. Victoria Falls in Africa, which is situated on the border between South Africa and Zambia, is the biggest waterfall in the world. The height of the waterfall is double that of Niagara Falls. It's another beautiful sight. Rocky Mountains, Banff, a place called Fairmount Chateau on Lake Louise. If you look at a picture of that, your mouth will water. You will want to go there. That hotel sits next to a lake that gets frozen in the winter. And in the summer, it's a beautiful lake with mountains, snow-capped mountains all around. Top of Europe, that's in Switzerland, where you go through a tunnel of ice. When you walk through that tunnel, the ceiling is ice, the floor is ice, the walls are ice. And this is something which you must experience. Another example of the natural wonder of the world is the penguin parade on Phillip Island in Australia. We saw that because of the Amway trip. It always makes me wonder how such thing can even occur, that the penguins will come out of the water like soldiers, disciplined soldiers marching out of the water at exactly the same time every day. And they've been doing that for centuries. Amazing, isn't it? Those are some of the natural wonders of the world. Then the other group is that I would say the man-made wonders of the world. I start with the Great Wall of China, which I'm sure many of you have seen. It is really a structure that you must visit. The terracotta soldiers in Xi'an, China, another Amway trip. You can see that the first emperor of China, he made clay soldiers of his entire army. Every sculpture, every statue is different because it represents one soldier. It is another man-made wonder. the Eiffel Tower of Paris. It is, you all know, and I don't have to elaborate. The Leaning Tower of Pisa, the Rome Colosseum. But there's another thing about the trip is what I call unusual experiences. I'll just name you a few because of time constraint. A few years ago, we went to Japan. I didn't know that they had such beautiful spas. And the company took us to a place where there are all the spas. And this place, the spas, there are many spas in that place. One is champagne spa. One is coffee spa. And I don't know what spa, this spa and that spa, I don't remember. But it's really very enjoyable. But the most enjoyable part of the spa is that you are supposed to go in there naked. And Malaysians are not so used to walking around naked. The Japanese, they walk around, like normal. But the Malaysians who always walk around with a small towel like that. Unusual experience. Like the bullfight in Spain. Not only we saw a bullfight, we had a chance to play bullfight. Of course, with a small bull. We went scuba diving in Australia. You see the seabed, the beautiful corals. And when we dive, Celia and I, the company assigned one professional diver to one couple to make sure that we do the right thing. And then to explain to us the beautiful seabed. Rock climbing, you saw a little bit on the video. Skiing, also in Lake Tahoe. And then ride on a special vehicle called a snowmobiles in the Canadian Rockies. And we also went into a submarine in Hawaii. You know, sometimes you go to certain places, you want to see the fish, you go to this big aquarium, you walk there, you see big tanks of fish. We go to the actual aquarium, the sea. And when the submarine goes down, we look out the window, we see the wild fish, not the one in the tanks. And then we travel on the Orient Express in Switzerland, a 5-star hotel on rails. Not to mention the 5-star hotel that floats like all the cruises, like the Alaskan cruise. But there's one or two more things I'd like to tell you about unusual experience. A few years ago, we went to Prague. And Amway took the whole castle. Just for the Amway diamonds. Entire castle. And we have shows there, and we have dinner there, and so on. But the last thing I want to tell you about trips probably is the most interesting. That is the shopping. Malaysians love to shop. They love to shop so much that Amway always makes sure that there is shopping whenever they choose a venue for trips. And you can shop in London. This is international shopping, not Sungai Wang Plaza or Jalan Petaling. You see the Amway diamonds and the crown ambassador sitting there. You see the ties worn by the men, the handbags carried by the ladies. You wonder where they have bought it from. I can tell you they did not buy in Sungai Wang Plaza or KLCC. They either bought it in Paris, in London, in Rome, or in New York, some of these places. So you can have the same trips too. I think I have to skip. Now, you know, this business, there's one thing we always talk about this business. We always say, what is the value of this business? There's a lot of values in the business. Some people don't know. When you are successful, of course, you get money, you get time, and I mentioned intangible benefits. And these intangible benefits may be a bit difficult to define. But there's one thing that people need more than money and time to make people happy. And that is the fulfillment of the psychological needs. People want to be respected. People want to be appreciated. And I got a lot of stories along that line, but I think I have to leave it again to another day. But I just want to tell you about the values. And now I want to tell you a story. And I can tell you that this is a true story again. In Washington, D.C., United States, at a metro station, that is the subway line, the underground train. If any one of you have gone to this underground train in either in London or New York, some of these places, you would have noticed that you will see some people who play music either with a guitar or with a violin and with a basket there in front of them so that you play, and as the commuters walk by, they hope that you give them some money. So at this Washington, D.C. Metro station, on a cold January morning, a man with a violin plays 6 Johann Sebastian Bach pieces of classical music. If you're in classical music, you know who Johann Sebastian Bach is. He's one of the most famous musicians in history. And he played the music for 1 hour. And in that hour, 2,000 people walked past him. Some paused to look at him just for 2 seconds and walk away. Some didn't even look. A few children wanted to stay and listen, but the parents said, come on, move, we are late. So, and a few people dropped money, $1 here, $2 there. And in 1 hour, this man collected $32.17 to be exact. So after 1 hour, he finished playing. And he left. Nobody applauded. Nobody said anything. Nobody even recognized him. Nobody knew that that person who played the violin, his name is Joshua Bell, one of the greatest musicians living today. 3 days earlier, he had played to the Boston Symphony Theater, to a full house where people paid $100 to see him play. And the violin he used to play, it is the same violin he plays in the subway, in the train station. It's a violin that is worth $3.5 million. That was the value of his music. But nobody noticed. How many people walk past the Amway business without knowing the value? And this is my message to you. But there is another value that's frequently overlooked, sometimes almost forgotten. And I want to give you a little demo, if I may, if you are patient enough, to illustrate my point about this value. What is this? Can you see? What is it? It is a 100 ringgit note. If I were to give to someone, if I were to give it to you, will you take it? You will take it. You know that the value is 100 ringgit. Now, I crumple this note. It's all now squeezed. Do you still want it? Why? It looks so terrible now. You still want it? Now I put it on the floor. And I step on it. You still want it? Why do you still want it? Because there's a value in it. You know what I'm trying to say here? Many people don't know their value. They overlook their value because when they went through life, somebody squeezed and crumpled them until they feel worthless. Some even get stepped on. And they go home and cry. They thought that they have lost their value. But actually, the value is still there. You think I should throw this $100 note down there? Your true value will come out because the value of the Amway business will bring out your true value. This is a great business. Never underestimate its power. It can bring you money, it can bring you time, it fulfills your psychological needs, and it can bring you happiness. And on top of that, you can help many people to live better lives. Tonight, this event is to celebrate and recognize our achievement. But it's actually more than that. It is also to mark the beginning of your journey to success. So in a short while, you're going to leave this room. And as you leave this room, I would like you to answer, and only you can answer these questions that I'm going to pose to you. Only you can answer. Do you know where you're going to? Do you know what we are showing you? Do you know? See you soon.
Where you going?